All right, let's get started. Thank you everyone for joining us for this special event hosted by OKX Australia. My name's Louis, I'll be your MC today. We're glad to have you here and appreciate the time you've taken out of your day to come meet us. For those of you who aren't familiar with us, OKX is a leading crypto exchange and Web3 technology company with over 50 million users worldwide. We offer crypto exchange services as well as the tools to access Web3 services for our users. We're an advocate of the power and versatility of crypto. We're also the primary partner of McLaren F1 team, Manchester City FC, and the Tribeca Festival. Joining us today is OKX President Hong Fan, who has been a leader in our business since 2019, and who is central to our efforts in growing around the world. We also welcome OKX Australia General Manager Jamie Kennedy, who leads our strategy here in Australia. So let's get right to the announcement. And we also have a special guest to break the news. And then we'll get into details straight after. Please.
Australia, listen up. I've got some big news. Australians now have access to one of the world's leading crypto trading apps. Trusted by millions, it's secure, reliable, and easily accessible. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just getting started, OKX gives you confidence with every crypto trade. And it's right here in our backyard. Are you ready? OKX, your new favorite crypto trading app, now available in Australia.
Thank you, Oscar. We all love Oscar, by the way, at OKX. We're a big fan of him. And thank you, everyone, for coming today. It's a great pleasure and honor to have all of you here. As Oscar mentioned, we're very excited to have this opportunity and launch in Australia officially. We are going, as of today, we're going to be able to offer spot trading opportunities to retail customers in Australia, as well as derivatives to verified wholesale customers, plus Web3 product. Jamie will go into it in more details later. But first of all, I want to say we're very happy to be here. We're excited to be the largest global crypto platform that are officially here to offer a wide range of products to our customers in Australia locally. I'll hand this over to Jamie to talk more about our product.
Yeah, thanks, Hong. So as Hong sort of alluded to, we're here today to sort of announce OKX Australia's launch into the market and sort of discuss the product suite that we're bringing to local Australian customers. And I think it's been over a year since we first committed to the Australian market, and since we started building out a really great team of local experts and setting up the local business. So across the product offering, we are now able to offer AUD deposits and withdrawals. We're able to offer spot crypto trading. We're also bringing through an AFSL derivatives trading to wholesale users. So that's futures, options, and perpetual spot products. And finally, I think something that people don't really quite know about OKX is that we have quite a strong Web3 product. And so that's also something that we're going to bring to Australian customers, and that product is the gateway to all things Web3. So be that DeFi or NFT marketplace, or even just self-custodying of funds. These products will now be available to all Australians. So I think one of the things that we wanted to discuss today was why OKX? What sets us apart in the market from I think one of the things that we've focused on, which I think Hong will touch on, is just this idea of responsible innovation. So we take a very long-term view, focusing on sustainable growth and building out the best products and the best technology to offer to our customers. And I think with the move to set up an Australian business, we've taken a very hyper-local strategy, and that means localizing the platform, making sure that there are products on offer that Australians want, and really bringing our global resources from around the world to sort of support that product. And I think finally, one thing we've really committed to is this customer first, customer centric approach. So be that from 24-hour customer service or sort of seeking feedback from our customers as to the products and the features that they want. That's something that we've really committed to bringing to the Australian market. Might throw to you, Hong.
Okay, thank you. I want to take a few minutes to talk about why Australia for us. We take our decision making very seriously internally, and you see us here. We actually have a lot of people, both locally as well as globally, coming to the market today. But what got us to this point is actually more than a year of preparation. But we also make various, assessment of different markets globally. And Australia is one of the key markets, key strategic markets that we decide to locally invest in and do that for long-term purpose. There are a few criteria when we look at which markets actually get on that strategic market list for us globally, along with Australia is one of them, obviously, along with Europe, UK, US, Dubai, for example, and a few markets in Asia as well. One of the key elements that we look at, obviously, is whether there are strong fundamentals in the market, whether we see a dynamic customer base. And we do see that in Australia. We see a very diverse set of customers here, including those who are sophisticated traders. There are also people who are interested in crypto, but haven't really started exploring it. We're happy to be able to serve them with our service. We see wholesale, more sophisticated wholesale customers who are looking for more sophisticated product set, and we are very excited about bringing those capabilities here locally to the customers here. And there are also crypto native players who are excited about possibilities in a new Web3, a more decentralized world. And we are also very excited to be able to offer that product set to this set of customers. So we view the customer base here to be very attractive and want to be able to continue to build here starting from today. The second thing that we very much value about Australia is that there is a strong talent pool, and that's also a part of the decision-making criteria that we look at when we pick strategic markets. We feel like there is a very strong pool of talents that we can rely on as we build locally, because we believe that if we want to really serve the customers well, we really have to have local leadership. The global resources can provide support, but it's really the local team who are going to sit in the driver's seat. So we feel very proud that we have been able to assemble a strong team, local leaders ranging from business to operations to compliance, legal, finance, HR, who are going to be here and be the advocate for our local community and help us navigate through the local community. The last thing, but not least, is we value regulatory transparency and engagement. We feel that Australia is a market where there can be continued discussion with regulator. There is transparency, there is maturity, there is sophistication on the regulatory side. At OKX, we really value that. We believe that a responsible and forward-looking regulatory framework is really important for the industry to really mature and get more adoption at a larger scale. So, we see that in Australia. We feel like that's some area where we can contribute over time. So we feel very excited about coming to Australia and launching here. And we hope that this is really just, again, the first step for us. So we hope to be able to invest here long term, as what we have done with the other markets. With that, I'll hand over back to Louis.
Thanks, Hong. Thanks, Jamie. I'd like now to invite Simon Callahan up here. So Simon is the CEO and Executive Director of Blockchain Australia, the industry body that represents Australian businesses and business professionals participating in the blockchain space. We invited him to join us today to have a discussion about the state of crypto in Australia. Thanks for joining us, Simon.
Yeah, thank you, Louis. Thanks to the OKX team for having me. And I think it's testament to the growing market here in Australia that we have global crypto leaders like OKX entering and establishing businesses in Australia.
Awesome. I'll go into a few questions for the group then. I think the first question is, can you talk about the changing regulatory landscape and what it means for the crypto space? Maybe we'll start with you, Simon, followed by Pong and Jamie.
Yeah, I mean, this is something I could probably talk for the entire press conference about, but we're starting to see some clarity coming into the crypto space with likelihood of draft legislation anticipated later this year. I think that creates, having regulatory certainty creates opportunities for businesses like OKX, as well as Australian players, to have certainty in terms of the future direction of their business and being able to commit resources to the future of the Australian industry. So it's a great thing to see.
At OKX, we really feel strong about responsible innovation. And for that, there are two aspects to it. One is, from our perspective, we believe in self-regulation. We believe in making the right choices. When we invest in product innovation, we think about what is right and pick up best practices also from traditional finance in terms of compliance risk and corporate governance. On the other hand, we also believe in forward-looking regulation. Actually, one of our compliance leaders who is sitting here used to give us a historical example in a parallel industry when we were talking about compliance internally. He was talking about airline industry, whereby the regulation actually really paved the way for more global adoption of airline for global transportation. And I believe that analogy is very much true for crypto as an emerging industry, whereby if there is better regulatory transparency, there is better railway for us to innovate better, more responsibly, and also to encourage better adoption in a larger scale. So, we very much look forward to that, and we want to be a constructive participant locally here as the local community together with the regulator discuss and explore what the right setup would be long term.
Yeah, look, I'm not sure there's too much more I can add to that, except to say, OKX Australia, we've actually joined as members of Blockchain Australia, so obviously the industry body that Simon leads. And I think, particularly as we navigate this next period of change, it's really important that we do have these strong industry bodies and the industry participates in the discussion that these industry bodies have. We've been certainly participating in a lot of the great work that Blockchain Australia has been doing. And I think that's something that we'll obviously look forward to continuing to engage with you on as well going forward.
Thank you. I think the second question is, obviously there's been a lot of momentum in the industry, and I think there's a vibrant ecosystem in Australia. So what do you think is the future of crypto market in Australia? What can it grow into? Maybe we'll start with Simon, and then Jamie and Hong.
Yeah, thank you. I think we obviously have a high crypto adoption rate within Australia, so Australians want crypto. That's not going to change, I don't think. It's not going to go away, and that's true globally. I spent a number of years in New York working at Austrade, helping some crypto blockchain businesses into Australia. I think it creates opportunities for jobs, which is really important for Australians. Hong talked about access to talented people, and we have a great education system in Australia, so we have talented people in Australia. It's a great opportunity for all Australians. Once this regulation provides that clarity, I think it'll really continue to open up the space, and we'll start to see more and more people investing within crypto.
Awesome. Jamie?
Yeah, look, I think crypto, it's not going away, and certainly it's not going away in the Australian market. I think Australia is certainly an interesting, probably an unsung hero of the crypto community that's out there. In that, for the size of the country that we are, we actually have a lot of huge projects that have been founded by Australians that have come out of Australia, that are based here. We have pretty vibrant community as well. I think I was at an ETH Sydney event a few weeks ago, and just talking to some of the people there who are brand new and had been, this is the first crypto event they'd come to, and I think that sort of goes to show just how dynamic and engaged people still are in the local community. I think that's something that we probably undersell ourselves a little bit on.
What would crypto look like in Australia? I think that's a big question. First of all, I think the first step for us is to make sure that we offer at least local currency on-ramp. That's smooth, that's seamless, that is native to the local community. Second of all, obviously we have spent a lot of time to make sure that we build the right foundation so that we can bring the different products and services to different customers here locally. But we would love to hear more from customers. Jamie mentioned that we are very customer first. That is true. We actually have brought our product team to Australia twice already, just to figure out what are the actual needs of the customer. And we don't think that we are a platform that should define that. We are here to follow the market, listen to the customer, and figure out what is specific to the local community and how can we do better to really be the local platform that customers can rely on. So we very much look forward to continue to iterate on the initial product we put out there, either for the crypto natives or traders or the larger population who just want to get in. I think we're very open to product feedback going from there.
My last question is actually a follow-up to your answer then. What do we think are the top priority and needs for the Australian user right now? Simon, any thoughts?
I mean, not to harp on the point, but I think having regulatory clarity is going to be really, really important. But I think, having offerings like OKX where Australians have greater access to the pairs that they want to be able to swap, having derivatives for our wholesale investors as well is super important. And Jamie and Hong talked about the Web3 products as well. So, which opens up a whole new space and potential for blockchain technology as a whole, beyond just crypto. So I think that's really important for the general public and the government to consider and think about.
Jamie?
Yeah, I think Hong has sort of touched on this in sort of the previous responses as well, but I think an important aspect of this is just really being quite local about how we approach the market and understanding that, we are a global company, but users in Australia use crypto in a different way to perhaps users in some of our other markets. And what are the products and services that we can bring to sort of best suit these needs, whether that is, for example, local fiat on-ramps, if there's a big NFT community, just having that Web3 NFT marketplace offering, again, the local AUD sort of trading functionality. And so I think for us, it's really about understanding the market and understanding our customers, and that's why we've built out a local team here. That's why we've got offices based in Sydney. We've built a team of local experts just to really help us understand the needs of the consumer. And I think that goes back to Hong's point of that customer first approach and listening to customer feedback and iterating from there.
I don't think I have much to add on top of what the two gentlemen have covered. The only thing I would probably elaborate on is that we feel a huge responsibility of bringing a sense of accountability and security to the customers. I think there are different angles of doing that, and it's a combination of one, really investing in technology to bring more transparency and giving customers more control That's why we invested in the self-custody wallet. That's why we invested in proof of reserve program automatically running every month. And we would love to continue to double down on that to give customers more control. I think the second part is around regulatory compliance, corporate governance, risk management. Those pieces will continue to invest both globally and locally. I think there are always room for us to continue to improve on that one. Our interaction with local regulator as well as global regulators, we also view that as a important force function for us to stay accountable, and we also hope that the local customers can also hold us accountable. Let us know if there are any feedback. We would love to hear directly from them, from you. So I think that's one part that we'll continue to invest.
Awesome. Sustainable growth and innovation, I think that's the key of what we do in OKX. Simon, thank you for joining us today, and Holland and James for the answers. I'm now going to hand it over to Taylor, our head of communications, who will open the floor to our guests.
Hey everybody. Okay, so we have just under 10 minutes left in the press conference, so I'm going to open it up to questions from the journalists who are present here. Again, thanks for coming, guys. If you don't mind raising your hand to ask a question and stating your name and your publication before asking the question, that would be great. Okay.
Thanks, guys. It's Tom from Pida here. Obviously, I know you've announced that you'll be offering AUD deposits and withdrawals, but how many AUD trading pairs can users expect on OKX?
So you should have over 70 AUD pairs, so you can deposit, buy and sell over 70 different types of cryptocurrencies.
Cheers.
Go for it.
Hey Jamie, Juan here from Finder as well. Mine is more on the business side of things. Was the decision of looking into Australia made from an already growing customer base that OKX had? Or was it just purely from seeing, the market evolving? So just would like to know.
It's a combination of both, actually. We do look at what we currently have, what we're seeing in the flow, but at the same time, we also look at the overall elements at the macro level. As I mentioned, those three elements. We look at the fundamental, we look at regulatory clarity and landscape, and we look at the talent pool. Those three, we actually have been very methodological about assessing and comparing markets and come up with our top 10 strategic markets. So we've been launching quite a few, starting from end of last year. We started preparing and working on these markets actually in tandem, but for Australia, we announced office opening last year, I think about last year, but our efforts actually started before that, way before that. So we want to make sure that we do it right. If we come to the market, we take our first step if it's the right first step. I think we're very happy that we got to this part, but we know that it's a long journey for us, so we'll continue. The pairs that we're talking about is just this initial set of
sets.
We'll continue to add. Yeah.
Hi, Nick Ross from ITWire, over here. We've got local Australian banks pretty hostile to crypto, and they do things like not let you deposit money to any crypto exchange, no matter how big, for 24 hours for no obvious reason, which obviously causes problems when you're trying to trade quickly and what have you. What's your relationship like with local banks, and are they turning on this at all?
Yeah, look, we work very closely with our banking partners to be able to support the Aussie dollar on and off ramps. I think, for us, certainly those are obviously the decisions that the banks make. But for us, what we really focus on is ensuring that we have a great set of controls in place, looking at, for example, transaction monitoring on chain, looking at the behavior of customer deposits, and ensuring that we do the best that we can on our side to protect our customers as well. Obviously, the decisions of the banks are the decisions of the banks, and that's not something we can probably influence ourselves.
You say you're banking others up?
No, so unfortunately not.
Business. But globally, what we see is very consistent when it comes to banking partners. I think it's always a process of education. The banking partners also want to make sure that they know us, they feel comfortable with us. So it generally takes some time to build that relationship and have that kind of two-way communication. So we view that as a pretty normal process.
Hi there, Sebastian Sinclair from DL News. Hi Hong, last time I saw you was in Austin. How are you? I'm just wondering, I'm interested as to kind of the process here for setting up your business under a onshore Australian registered company. What was the process there, and why did it take so long in between when you launched in Australia a year ago with the office that you mentioned, and kind of canvass the process behind that, please?
Well, hiring the right people takes time. I'm sure Jamie knows that, and we have quite a few local leaders here too. That's number one. Number two, we'll turn over to Jamie to talk about exactly what they have done to the extent that he can talk about it. But.
Yeah, like Hong said, actually hiring the right people and getting the team right, I think was really critical for us to set up in the local market, and I think we took our time doing that. And obviously once we had the right people in place, it was then about putting in place and setting up the business and doing it very, very thoroughly. So crossing I's, dotting the T's, making sure that when we were able to offer, for example, our fiat product to Australian users, that's a smooth and seamless experience to the end customer. And so I think we didn't want to rush to the market. Part of what we sort of spoke about earlier was this whole idea of sustainable growth. So yes, crypto is a very fast-paced and fast-moving market, but when we come to these local markets, we do want to do it right, because I think in these things you really get that one shot.
Yeah, and if I may add, right, preparing for the market from a compliance perspective is time-consuming. Preparing for it from a product perspective is also time-consuming, and making sure that we have local product that meet local KYC requirements, having proper disclosure in place in product to meet the requirements for the FSL requirements for derivative to the verified wholesale customers. On-ramp, there's a lot of things going on that we needed.
To say that there wasn't those
procedures and controls in place before you came to Australia?
We didn't serve Australia onshore before.
Right.
Previously. When we decided to invest in Australia locally, we made a very clear decision, and there was a time when we actually stayed put to make sure that we actually built right. So we actually put a lot of things on hold from a business perspective. And that's just how we approach business, not only Australia, but also in many other parts of the world. So, we do not want to take shortcuts.
Thank you.
Alex Zaharovoit from TechAdvice.life. I mean, many of the journalists here are obviously very skilled at crypto. I'm representing the people who don't know too much about it. And like your mum and dad type of investors that have heard about OKX, I've also heard about FTX's collapse and other crypto exchanges being hacked. What sort of reserves do you have in case you are hacked, in case something goes wrong, the corporate malfeasance or whatever? I mean, it's not without it's within the realm of possibility given what we've heard about. And then also, is there some sort of a payment card or tap and pay through your phone that you can use to pay for things like with the Revolut card, or is that not something that you are doing yet, and you've got to put your crypto through an off ramp into your bank and then spend the money that way? Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, certainly the second half of your question, that's not something that we offer to Australian customers just yet. But again, this is part of why we have a local presence here, right? So it's part of that process of going out, asking users, seeking that sort of feedback, understanding their spending and buying patterns. And if that's something that Australian users are demanding from us, that's something we'll certainly explore. In terms of back to the first half of the question, that's something that the proof of reserves matter. It's something we take very seriously at OKX. I think we've published monthly proof of reserve reports now for the last, I think, 18 months. And that is a tool where users, mum and dad users can go on. We have a very simple tool on the website. You can go and actually verify using our zero knowledge technology that those assets are actually on the platform. And we've taken a lot of time and effort to sort of build out a lot of these security features as part of the platform, and we really encourage users to sort of explore that and see how they can protect themselves.
Yeah, we don't. One of our key philosophies that I don't think we as a platform should ask just for trust. I think trust has to be verified, and I do not want our customers to just trust anyone or any platform or any project blindly. So what we are here to do is to be able to provide tools for our customers to verify. We also want something like that to be there to hold ourselves accountable, so that everything is on chain. So I think one thing FTX was a painful experience for the whole industry, but I think in the hindsight, it also served as a catalyst for the industry when it comes to self-regulation, using technology to better self-regulate, to provide more transparency on chain. And I think it's actually a advantage that crypto can offer compared to traditional financial industry, whereby it's all on chain. You don't have to wait for quarterly or annual audit report, right? You can actually just look at things real time on chain. But we want to continue to invest in that, as well as other internal control measures, and marry technology tools with best practices in traditional finance. So I think that's an ongoing process for us. But we hope that we are here with the local team, with local corporate governance that can offer better accountability and peace of mind for the customers.
Thanks, everybody. So that concludes the press conference proper. I'll kick it back to Louis for a final word.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining us for this special announcement. Again, we appreciate the time taken out of your day. If you have booked an interview with one of our spokespeople, we'll arrange that now. But on behalf of all of OKX, thank you again.